tidy up underneath there of my bed quickly?
Well, I literally just pressed record. You went, can I tidy up very quickly? Stay in there.
Sam, if I go into it, I'm going to be loving.
Yeah, you just go tidy up whilst we just chat.
I love them shorts.
I know. When it's like 12 degrees outside. How is everybody? How are we all?
I'm good, yeah.
That's like typical Connaire. Life's like, yeah, I'm nice. There's currently a global pandemic, but I'm chill.
I'm enjoying the sunshine. It's great.
It's good. Can't really get into it much, so apart from like being in your garden or going to walk.
It's raining up here, so...
Raining in Aberdeen? Never.
Yeah.
So where are you all? So Ethan, you're back in Aberdeen.
Yeah.
Sunny, wet
Gorgeous.
Aberdeen. And Connaire, where have you?
It's more wet in Glasgow, is it not, Sam?
Excuse me? No. It's currently sunny with some clouds, a scattering of clouds, a smattering of clouds. Where are you, Connaire? Where have you ended up?
I'm in the capital still.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Nice. How is lockdown in Edinburgh?
Lockdown in Edinburgh's good. It's a bit same oldie now, but doing what we can. I got a plant the other day, spice up my own life.
Wow.
That that's actually improved my mood tenfold. So that's been great.
Your hips, you just went up and like hipster level.
Yeah.
Don't you? When you get a succulent.
Now, because I'm working for Central, I need a plant. So
that is actually so true. Every Zoom call I've had with someone from Central in Edinburgh has literally been like, it's been like calling them in the Botanic Gardens. You're just like, hello. There was always a plan. There's always a plan. Sam, have you moved back to Ayrshire or are you back in Edinburgh?
No, I'm over in here now. Which is good. It's good to be back home. It's good to be with family. But yeah, it's definitely not 100% what I expected to happen. We've got. I feel like the only way that I can show you properly is the sun outside. It's very like Pixar skies.
Oh, that's gorge.
It's so great.
Don't get that in Aberdeen, Ethan. Do you? Is that a sunny day in Aberdeen?
Yes. It's so not. I was like, literally, I moved out of my flat on Saturday from Edinburgh, and like driving up, it was like gorgeous. I was sweating. It was awful, but well, it was good, but it was awful, you know. But like driving up, right, as soon as we got past Forfar, like past Dundee, it was just like grey. And I was just like, this is just it, isn't it? Do you know what I think it is? I think it's the sun reflecting on the granite and just making the sky seem really grey. That's my theory.
That sounds ridiculous, but at the same time sounds a bit logical.
There's something there.
I think there might be, but then again, I don't know how that light thing works.
Whoever's watching this now knows that Ethan is a man of wisdom. Learn a lot from him, you know?
Yeah.
Total man of wisdom. This past year, we've all been doing Training Hub, eh? Training Hub. Ethan, do you want to just say a bit about Training Hub?
What, like tell you what it is?
Yeah.
Not
yeah.
Sam.
I've been coasting too much now. Do you know, I've still had an assignment that was due in January, so...
That's good to be
this is the guys in charge.
I know, I'm technically on the team for doing Training Hub as well as doing it, and I've not done the assignment. I keep forgetting, that's my issue. I keep forgetting. Just keep forgetting. Anyway, Ethan, do you want to tell us a bit about it, and then do you want to say a bit about your experience of it as well?
Yeah. So Training Hub is just a wee programme that's kind of run by the Baptist Union for people of all ages who want to kind of just spend a bit more time thinking about leadership and discipleship and get training and teaching involving loads of different types of ministries and loads of different types of like kind of talking through like biblical and theological concepts as well, just to give people a real foundation for strong leadership if they want to go and lead in a church or their workplace or even in their family, stuff like that. And Like it's just full of just people coming together as well, that just they're all very like-minded, that are humbling themselves to learn and to experience life together and do life together. And we do weekends away, we do Wednesday evenings with our kind of like different thirds. So there's Edinburgh and Glasgow and Aberdeen that all kind of meet together, but the weekends where everyone comes together and we spend some time in worship and teaching, and it's great.
That's actually like a glowing summary of what it is.
So, end the call now then. Just end the call. That was it. Right?
Thanks everyone. See you.
That was a very well practiced, rehearsed.
No, it sounded like you've done this before.
No, brilliant. Not at all. I was practicing in the shower this morning when you sent me the questions.
That wasn't this morning, Ethan. That was 45 minutes ago.
I know. After you said you'd send them last night.
I know. Yeah. Well, I forgot. So there we go. So Training Hub. Just to add to that, it's run in partnership with Central, so it's not just a Baptist Union thing, but it's for everybody beyond Baptist Union network stuff. So why did you guys do it, Sam? Why did you do Training Hub? You're muted. Oh, he's back.
No, sorry. There's just oh no, wait, no, it's fine. There's a running joke. There's a running joke. This is gonna have to get edited out. Right? There's a joke in the office whenever Sheila would ask, why did you guys do Training Hub? And then we were all just kind of saying, well, we were told to do it. Which obviously isn't true. We were told to do it, but that's not the only reason. We were told to do it, but that's not the only reason.
So it's an internship at Central in Edinburgh, yeah?
Yeah, but I think, over interning at Central, it was one of the things that we were all doing and getting up to. But I think so to extend the question out a wee bit more, like why did I go and do an internship? I think just spending a year designating out a year to prioritize like learning and just learning what it means to be doing ministry in lots of different ways. I think I had reached a point where I was sort of weighing up whether I wanted to go and do whether doing like a Christian something full time was something that I would maybe look at doing with my future. So it was a really good opportunity to learn a bit more and like test that out and really be led by some really great people and learn from some really great people and shadow under some really great people how they're doing it. And it was a really good temperature check on like whether it was something that I wanted to do. And it was really great.
Cool. So how have you found that it's impacted and shaped your just everyday life then, like beyond the internship? How have you seen your experience, whether that be through the teaching you've had in Training Hub, encounters with God, or just times of like community and sharing with people? How have those impacted and shaped just the way that you live?
I think one of the biggest things that I've taken away from it all is a lot around how important rhythms are and how biblical having rhythms are, and moving into like times of like and times of work, and making a really good balance, which can sound very like you can apply that to anything. But I think especially even outside of just like whether I wanted to go and do Christian stuff or not, the sort of the modelling of what it means to have to rest and then to work has been really important for me, because it means that my work times are way more productive. Like I can work for like I wish that I had those sort of practices in play like when I was at school, because that would have been so much more helpful in sort of balancing studying life. And as I look to like going off to university now, I know that said, that's a bit of an interesting answer to that question, but hopefully it's not too left field.
No, it's not left field at all. So when you say rhythms, you mean essentially just like spiritual disciplines, i.e., but also beyond that, like actually shaping your life around just being in a relationship with Jesus and what that, the revelation that comes from that then.
I think spiritual disciplines is probably the better phrasing of it, definitely.
Aye, probably. I mean, in my verbal processor, I've had 2 cups of coffee and this is my 4th Zoom call of the day and it's now 1 o'clock. I'm fried. So Connaire, what would you say you've learned in Training Hub? Like, what's the one thing that you'd be like, if I haven't learned, if this is all I learned this year, then I'm smiling. What would it be?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's been quite a lot. Firstly, I want to say, when you're interning at a church, or when you're working, or even when you're kind of volunteering and serving at a church, rather than like working full time for them, it can often feel, or even for like a Christian organization, it can feel like a lot of output and not a lot of input often. That's been my experience from other things that I've done and from different positions that I've been in. But I think one of the strengths of the internship for me this year and for Training Hub was put in terms of the number of people that we've had externally come in and teach about specific topics has been really key, and obviously they're well practiced in those topics. We had some apologetics people come in from the Ravi Zacharias Trust, so that was awesome, and just people who are very knowledgeable in the field, and actually that was a very good, like, because of that input is very good, and then actually coming away and trying to reflect on that and maybe journal even about that. I've never really journaled before, and I think it was a really critical thing for me to reflect on it all and complete the learning process. But yeah, in terms of one thing, probably be similar to Sam. Could say like rhythms and actually the Sabbath of a kind of daily, weekly, termly, yearly retreat in a way that just refreshes your soul. Then right at the start of the year, we looked at like leadership and discipleship, and a lot of the stuff I knew, but a lot of the models were just really good. I've been able to see those come into play through my work at Central as a youth worker. So it's good to see things like we talked the square model, where there's starts off with I do, you watch, and then I do, you help, and then you, I help, and then so on, and just taking people through that square and actually kind of preferring other people in a leadership role is something that was probably good for me and really changed the way I led and I'm leading this year. Yeah.
I think even when you're talking about what you've experienced and learned, Connaire, you're actually covering the breadth of it. So, like, for example, like, there's everything from, like, the kind of personal investment that's more explicitly spiritual, in the sense of actually investing in our relationship with Jesus and discovering who he is, and therefore discovering who we are. And then beyond that, even, like, there's the stuff of, like, just the, like, discovering who we are and like a way that's less like cheesy and Christian, like, so through like Myers-Briggs stuff. Like, I know a lot of people in the Glasgow hub find that really helpful, and I just discovered how much more extroverted I am than I ever thought I was, which is hilarious. Apparently, according to the 16 Personalities website, 93% extroverted, which is quite high. However, I have met 100% extroverted before. I have met someone who's 100%.
Is that not Des Johnson?
It's Des Johnson from Alpha Scotland. Of course, he's going to get a shout out in this. Yeah, no, he's just another level. Like, and like, he can't even be in a car journey by himself. So you've gone. So there is a real breadth of just that, like the spiritual stuff and dealing with more theological stuff, and then the kind of more practical leadership stuff that's going on there that we can actually apply to anything, anywhere, whether that's just living with your family in lockdown, or whether it's leading a business, or whether it's being a cleaner, or being a checkout operator, or being an intern in a church, for example. Like, and I think for me, I studied theology before I did this. I did 4 years of theology. I found it to be like a really good, like, refresher in some ways. Like it kind of, I think when you study so much, you can kind of overcomplicate things in your head because you know so many different opinions and so many different things. And so it was really good to consolidate, well, what is it I actually believe?
Yeah.
What is it I actually think? And I think I find that really helpful and useful. I think we've probably only got a couple of minutes left because I know, Sam, you need to head. So we just go around from Ethan to Connaire to Sam. And do you want to say, just like very briefly, what you feel like God has been speaking to you about? And if that's different from what you guys have shared before, Sam and Connaire, then that's fine. If it's not, then that's equally all right. But what's the one thing you feel like God's really been speaking to you about over the past 6 months and working in and through you?
Yeah, so for me personally, like, I don't know about you guys, but I always find that, like, you ever have like a season, I know it's really like cheesy Christian word, but a season where you have like a word, and like that word is just really prominent throughout like that entire time. Like every time you hear it, you just kind of want to like scream. But like my word's kind of been kind of similar. Yeah, like it's been like discipline and just like actually when it comes to leadership and stuff like that, and comes to discipleship and being present and being there for people and actually like living as closely to the way Jesus lived as possible. Like I think that's just been a really key factor this year, is learning how to do that. How do you live a life that's not just, you know, like a Sunday Christian where actually like you just go to church on a Sunday, you help out with one or two of the wee groups that runs throughout the week, but actually how do you do like life with people? How do you how do you live a life that's so close to Jesus that people around you are questioning, like why are you doing that? Why is that something that you're passionate about, and those kind of things, and actually being able to turn around and say, well, it's because like I'm so in love with Jesus and I have a relationship with him. And I think that like one of the things that's really challenged me this year and it's really been really big is about this idea of church and what we do with church and stuff like that, and how I think as Christians we quite often we turn into this kind of like it's a Sunday thing and that's it. We just kind of leave it on a Sunday and you know we do our kind of worshipy time then and it's great, when actually like church is about kind of it's that time spent with the body of Christ. And I think one thing that's been really prominent for me for Training Hub is the fact that you can get into a room with people that you don't know that well at the start of the year, but at the same time when you come to worship together, like it's just this eruption of praise, and like people are like, you know, their hands are in the air, they're giving their all to worship God. Like, they're not looking for anything out of it. But
I think that's been one of the things that have marked this group. No, sorry, there's like a total time delay. But one of the things that have marked this group that's gone through Training Hub this year, obviously includes us, is the times of worship. I think even like us as a team have kind of been steering it. Like I think we've mentioned that like all the time about how, and even the guys who were on the team last year and helping to lead and steer Training Hub last year have said that that's one of the things that almost sets this group apart, is the heart to worship. And it's phenomenal how that just like underlies everything, because it doesn't become about making yourself better so that you can be better. It doesn't become about knowing things for knowing things' sake or for reasons of achievement, but rather about actually seeking transformation as a response of worship to who Jesus is, and wanting to worship God with our mind and wanting to worship God with how we develop ourselves as characters and as leaders. Connaire, what's the one thing you feel like God's been speaking to you about and honing?
Yeah, well, just quickly, I wanted to say, what you were saying, Sam, about you know, you're coming from 4 years of theology and then you're coming into this and you're still benefiting from it. I think that's a strength of Training Hub as well. It kind of caters for everyone, whether you are like, you feel like you're on this end of the spectrum or this end of the spectrum and you've just become a Christian, or you're way down the line. I think like apologetics is quite nitty, and that was something that I loved. And then there's more kind of like stuff like identity, which is really critical, and obviously that's really important as well. And for me, something that I've been thinking about all year is kind of evangelism and how I do that in a secular workplace, how I stand out, but also I'm part of the community there, and getting that balance between, okay, I'm living for Jesus, but I also want to, you know, be friends with these guys and give the impression like I'm judging or things like that. So how do I set myself apart but still almost be a friend, and be someone in that community? So that's been really helpful as I've done Training Hub, just to explore that. But
yeah, that's good. Sam, how about you?
One of the Training Hub has really fit in a bit like what Connaire was saying, like no matter where you're at, then Training Hub has been quite a good tool to bring out what God has been speaking to me about. So coming into this year, was sort of testing the water, going into like Christian full-time thing was what I wanted to across this year. God has really been speaking into like calling out who I am in Him, and then like leadership and confidence based on that. It's like I'm not, and just the real difference between sort of cultural leadership and then Jesus leadership, the difference, and that's already been touched on a wee bit. I think Connaire mentioned it a bit, which was such incredible teaching around that. But I would say that God has really been like permissioning and affirming, and has really used a lot of the people that have been around Training Hub and around my internship this year to really speak into that, and it's been really great.
Thanks guys for joining, and speak to you soon. All right.
Thanks.